Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Summit 6 C Qualifiers. We are nearing the end. This is the lower bracket finals of Fnatic versus Power Gaming. And Fnatic is making the lower bracket climb. They moved past Execration yesterday. Meanwhile, Power Gaming dropped down from the winner brackets, losing to Faceless. This is going to be a best of 3. I am Luminous, and you guys are joining me for this amazing best of 3. And also that's joining me is Tsunami. How are you doing today, Neil?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
It's good. It's good. I lost my Battle Cup match. It was fantastic.
I mean, the emojis, that's just that's what really hurts me the most. Winning is just a minor thing, but it's the prizes that really cut me deep.
You mean you don't get the BC Frog?
Or that's critical for All Talk. The All Talk meta has changed substantially ever since Battle Cup was introduced.
Yeah. Now, if you don't have the BC Frog, you might as well just not talk at all.
Especially with you watch True Sight live or no?
I did not see it live. I caught it YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. So Twitch chat was basically emulated very carefully with BC Frog. So all things considered, I think that was the most important reward for Battle Cup. And I'm saying that with Fnatic, it's not often that I get to make calls about team psychology. Usually it's just the draft analysis and stuff like that. But what are you thinking about how that whole subtitle thing went for Fnatic's little storyline?
Well, before that thing went live, they were sent to the lower bracket. Once that thing went live, they haven't been eliminated yet. So, psychology helped? Question mark.
Okay.
Yeah. Mushi yesterday has some good performances, has some bad performances. Just not the 9K player. But hopefully he will do well today.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope to see. I mean, I'm not too familiar with Power Gaming as a organization, but I recognize a few of the. Well, actually, the only name I really recognize is DDZ. What do you know about these other players on Power Gaming?
Well, let me give you a quick rundown for the viewers at home that also may not be familiar with them. I think they're notoriously most famous for the scandal that they had, I think 1 to 2 years back, or maybe even a little bit longer. So now they are not able to participate in any Valve events. So no majors, no TI. But they definitely can play in other events, including the Summit 6. And I think they have a lot to prove. I mean, these are the only players that are banned in the Valve event, so they're kind of forced to play with each other because, no one will want to make a team with them. So for better for worse, they are sticking with each other, and they have been, getting results. So, meanwhile, draft is on the way.
Yeah, making your way this far through this tournament definitely means quite a bit. But the next 2 teams that Power Gaming has to face Fnatic in this series, and then next series is going to be the team Faceless, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so that is definitely 2 powerhouses in terms of players. Obviously, Fnatic, you can see. And hopefully you watched True Sight as well, those of you viewers. I'm sure most people are familiar with Demon and Mushi, and maybe Ohio, and then definitely got some more exposure to Raven in TI6 and AU as well. So definitely a much more well-known set of players, but as was illustrated in that mini documentary, it takes more than just individual skill. You need to have communication as a team, and it seems that Fnatic may have had some issues with that.
Alright, I got the message that I need to raise Tsunami's mic. I have deafened mine a little bit and raise Tsunami's. Let me know, guys, if it's fixed. If not, I'll try to make a little bit more adjustments. The picks are on the way, and if you guys haven't been watching Sea Dota, at least for the past week, Warlock is a thing. Warlock first phase is a thing. And my personal pet theory with this hero is that right now the metagame is full of heroes that saves each other. So think of Shadow Demon, Oracle, Kunkka, OD with this Astro, even things like Elder Titan. You go on a buddy of his, Disrupted, or, False Promise, yada yada. Whereas if you have the Warlock on the team, your Slaughter jumps in, the Rock comes down, the whole team is ideally stunned. You get that first kill, and you got the Inferno to help you move on and get the kills afterwards. So it really makes it problematic and annoying for Power Gaming to play against the Warlock. And teams of the past have picked Silencer versus the Warlock so that when the initiation comes, you get to global. And the other method you deal with it is, well, you deal with them the same way that you deal with the Oracle or Shadow Demon. You go on him first. You kill the Warlock, make sure that the ult does not fly out, and hopefully you take a favorable fight after that.
So what has the typical skill build been for these Warlock games then? What have they been maxing?
Unfortunately, no upheaval max, no upheaval at all until like level 9 or 10. It's gonna be Fatal Bond and Shadow Word. Shadow Word for the laning, and the, you know.
That's not what I wanted to hear at all, because I saw Warlock show up occasionally at TI6 from Southeast Asian teams, and it was never leveling upheaval, and I don't really understand the justification, because I know typically upheaval has been slept on a lot, but like with the Slardar, I think it's amazing. With most lane enemies, I think it's great. Juggernaut may be a bit of an exception, so this game I'll let it slide, but one of these days, people are going to look back at upheaval, and it's going to be like a mana leak level of revelations, where people are like, how are we skipping this spell in the laning phase for so long?
Well,
That's just my opinion.
I got a couple of theory on that. Because Warlock is so cooldown dependent with his ultimate, you want him to be somewhat useful outside of the fight, which you may be saying isn't upheaval a great AoE pseudo disable, because the slow is so massive, you could cast it from such a long range. But at the same time, you look at Warlock as a hero, he has literally no damage output apart from his ultimate. And that's where Fatal Bond comes in. So I think the damage output, especially when you draft, I mean, every line has some AoE in it. I think that synergizes pretty well. That's my guess on why Fatal Bond's more preferred. Ooh, I think we're going to see a support PA here.
Now, why do you say that?
Because they ran it yesterday.
Even post 6.88
Yeah,
nerf,
you know,
everyone told me, you know, oh, the nerf was just a nerf support PA. All she really needed was a nerf on dagger range. And you're telling me this was run last game?
Yeah, it was, and I spent the whole cast ragging on it. It was terrible, but they won, so, you know, there's that. I talked about the big difference between a 825 dagger range and a 1200 dagger range. There were early kills that were missed simply because dagger range was cut short. However, it did pressure, you know, the side lanes as well as the mid lane pretty hard. So there is still merits to the hero.
Okay, fine. I can see. I thought whenever I saw it initially, when I don't remember which team ran it that kind of broke ground with it, but I saw the power, and I was also skeptical that the 6.88e nerf or 6.88e nerf would really impacted that dramatically, because most of the time whenever she was tossing daggers, it was basically like ranged auto attack range anyway. It wasn't like 1200 all the time, because she would often follow up with her blink strike and be able to put some blightstone, orb of venom, that kind of stuff. And while the dagger is great at applying all that, you need to keep that debuff on the enemy, and so I still think it's strong. I'm skeptical though, especially against enemies like Juggernaut and Shadow Demon, but I can kind of see where they're going.
All right, Leicester is going to be the pick here. I mean, they could do a complete 180 and go for the mid PA. I guess that's the power of this pick. You don't know if it's mid, support, or safe lane. So with the Leicester pick, I expect this PA to be going into a support position, because you want a better initiation that's not PA. You want something like a Quap, like a Storm, or things of that nature. And by the way, I will give money to see a Mushi Quap. We have not seen it for years, and he used to be super dominant on this hero.
Yeah, I've kind of fallen out of love, especially this patch with Queen of Pain in general, and it seems that most teams have. But since Mushi it's such a signature hero for him, I wouldn't mind seeing it either, especially against what Power Gaming have so far.
All right, let me quickly talk about the players and the roles for Power Gaming, if you guys are not too familiar with them. We got DDZ, the mid player, although they do switch lanes from time to time. Lance, your carry player for the team, very, very stable, and when he's not stable, that means he's going too ham and too hard, but he generally makes it work. We got Mozen, the roaming support, generally the playmaker for the team, at least for the first 10 to 15 minutes, so I'm looking for big things from him. We got JYC playing most likely the hard support, Shadow Demon. And then last but not least, we got MTR, the offlaner. So my question is the Sand King going to be the offlane here, or is the Axe going to be the offlane and the other hero being the support? Which one do you prefer?
In this comp, I kind of prefer Sand King in the offlane. I think Axe is able to get more out of the jungle early on than a Sand King. And Lifestealer, well, actually, pretty much most of Dire's heroes in general can't deal well with caustic spam. And Lifestealer against Axe, I prefer Lifestealer in against most other melee cores, I guess. Axe is good against many melee cores, but Lifestealer he's not the best because he has so much HP naturally that Lifestealer gains a lot of HP just from harass.
Yeah, and I think Axe gets quicker farm in the jungle anyway, so you could get more of the map if you do Sanking off lane in Axe jungle. Is that the conclusion that you came upon to, or did you have the
Yeah,
opposite one? Okay.
no, I think that that's the way they should play it. But either way, I think Axe can kind of migrate easily a little bit better than the Sand King as far as ganking like the safe lane or the mid lane, things like that. So I think Sand King will probably be sticking to off lane, especially because I don't see jungle Sand King exclusive that often anymore anyway.
Well, I think it's actually people haven't tried it as much. The teams that do still like stack and do Sanking Sandstorm jungle. I mean, the power of that is you can still get like the aiming the blink dagger, which if the blink is all you care about, you get it much quicker than offlane Sanking. Because offlane Sanking generally goes for the boots. You upgrade the boots. Sometimes people make a pit stop at, getting a magic wand or whatever. So I think people just kind of have forgotten how powerful and how quick you could get that blink.
Though this game, a quick blink is definitely going to be very valuable, either on the Axe or the Sand King.
Okay.
And last pick, it's going to be Luna.
Yeah.
Power Gaming.
We're gonna see a Jug mid, Luna safe lane, Shadow Demon combo, pretty standard stuff. I think that's gonna give Lifestealer some issues here coming into the late game, but I expect Fnatic to really take control of this mid game. Mushi also plays Shadow Fiend. They got some minus armor synergy going on right now.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see definitely a support PA synergizing better with something like a Shadow Fiend for sure than something like a Quap, especially against a Jug mid.
Yep. Again, the assumption is still PA support, but we could change.
This is an extremely greedy lineup if it's not a PA support. Well, I mean, I guess PA support could also be interpreted as greedy for other reasons, but I wouldn't say that Power Gaming is going to fall too far behind.
Okay.
Maybe it is.
Yep, it is a TA support. Is this a Mushi Timber mid? Is that the question? Yeah. A lot of strength melees, which explains this pick quite a bit. And in the mid lane, you're definitely going to have a much better start. As of late, I've seen Timber just getting absolutely wrecked in the off lane. So hopefully he does not start there. Raven, your carry player, will select Lifestealer, so no surprise there. I'm expecting Demon to pick up Warlock, Ohio on Slaughter. AU, the roaming support player, on Phantom Assassin. So yes, once again, we will see it. We're going to see that Blightstone opening, that Clarity, that Orb of Venom. Let's go.
I haven't seen it after 6.88e, so I'm curious to see how viable it really is, because I think not only was the balance patch to nerf it, but teams are more aware. Teams like Power Gaming definitely saw this one coming, which is why I think Axe, and I think Luna as well is relatively good, because Luna, high move speed, can kind of deal with the dagger slow, especially if she can see PA walking into her lane, so I'm curious to see how this works out.
Yep. And the other thing that I guess both of us are wrong on is the Sand King as well as Axe positioning, right? Sand King is now playing the support role. Bati Courier does have himself a smoke and a Windlay, so looking to be active early portions of the map. Normally, though, in the past, when you do a roaming Sand King like this, you generally want to start boots first. As you can see here, Burrow Strike range, pitifully small, and he's going to have to, sneak up on some people to really get that Burrow Strike off.
There is some setup opportunities. Obviously, Shadow Demon Disruption is great at stalling out. It's 2.5 seconds at all levels, which makes it easy. And he does have a Windlace on Sand King, so it's not like he's completely without any move speed item whatsoever.
Okay. We'll see if it's going to work out. All right, we got a keyboard problem from Ohio. And speaking of Ohio, I think that's where the PA is going to be at to start the game with. Generally, you see it more commonly nowadays, like a Ogre plus a Batrider off lane, or a Slaughter plus, I don't know, a Kunkka in the off lane. You just want two relatively tanky off laners, or support plus off laners in the off lane, to make sure that off laner gets the first 2 levels or so. And then the PA will likely start to roam mid or whatnot. Looks like he's been given a Sentry Ward. Nope. Pass back to Demon. Yeah, so I expect AU to start bottom and make his mark there, and then go to mid. But we shall
Yeah,
see.
that's why I'm thinking there's going to be probably a pretty significant early investment to make sure that Luna doesn't get hassled too much, because she's kind of light on the regen, just has a salve and a tango, and I don't really know if Shadow Demon's the best at discouraging the kind of aggression that someone like a Timbersaw can bring against Luna. Or, I mean, sorry, someone that a Slardar can bring against Luna.
Yeah. The really nice thing about Slardar is that against this lane setup, you have pretty low killing power unless Ohio makes a big mistake. He's extremely tanky, and generally after one crush, connecting with just at least one hero, you just prevent the kill from happening. Alright. We got more problems happening. Hopefully the technical issues would not persist, but still early in the day.
This is very early.
No, for me it is.
Wrong.
Not for you, right? What time is it for you now?
No, this is the burning the midnight oil here. It's 2 a.m. for me, but you know, I've been taking a world tour with my casts. I started out doing some South American Dota, and then I did a little bit of Chinese Dota, then I did European Dota, and now here I am in Southeast Asia, so I'm curious to see how all the metas have been evolving in this extended patch.
Well, C Dota is very similar to South American Dota.
Okay.
As well as NA Dota.
I can also see that.
I will leave it at that.
It's a comp assault, basically. You can interpret it however you want, depending on what you, the viewer, think of each of these scenes. At least I can say for sure, I definitely have not seen support PA since the nerf in any other scene except for here.
Well, there you go. No, take it for what you will, but I mean, C in last TI has finished higher than ever before. So, Demon, you can play without sounds. Just imagine it.
Yeah, it's not CS. You don't need to hear the footsteps. Who cares if you can't hear an Eclipse off in the distance?
Yeah. You can't, like, certain game sounds does help. Is it just me, or you can hear TP sounds? Because the other day I said it in a cast, and my co-caster was scratching his head a bit. You can hear TP sounds, right?
You can, but it's one of those things that it's a fog issue. It's like you're not supposed to be hearing them, but like if you got vision for a split second, then you can hear the full TP. There have definitely been times where I'm like, I'm pretty sure someone's TPing to this tower. I have no vision of it whatsoever, but you just gotta trust me on this.
So we don't even know if it's spider sense or if I'm just going crazy? Is that what you're telling me?
It's a gift.
Okay.
It's a blessing and a curse.
I'm gonna call myself a savant and be done with it. What other important sound do you need in this game?
This game for Demon, so the first one I would have said is Eclipse, because a lot of times it'll just turn to night and you're like, I don't know what that means, but if you hear pa-thunk, pa-thunk, pa-thunk off in the distance, then you know not to walk in the vicinity. I think the meow from the healing ward, it's almost pay to lose to an extent, because man, as soon as I hear that meow, I'm like, where's that goddamn healing ward? Whereas whenever I just hear the little whoosh, it doesn't really signal to me anything. But if I hear that meow, oh man, heads are gonna roll.
Yeah, there are things like Windwalk, especially with Shadowblade, that
oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
you're gonna hear it in the distance.
Blink daggers,
sure.
Axe, Sand King, that'll be important.
Yeah,
oh, Shadow Demon, Shadow Poison, that's a good one.
All right, we're just going into the deep end here with the crazy 8K analysis, and I say 8K because we're not as good as Twitch chat, who's probably giving us 20 more sounds that we're missing out here.
That's okay. The audio meta still has much room to develop.
Yeah, we talked about the all chat meta. The audio meta's next.
That's right. Dota's a psychological game. That's why I'm looking forward to see what AU does on this roaming PA, because if he's able to have as big of an impact early on as he's hoping, then that's definitely tilt-worthy for power gaming.
All right, Mushi's about to get first blooded. The courier might die as well. They're going to focus on the courier. Disruption's going to come in. They have Burrow Strike as well, Spin available. There you go. And Mushi, he does not have any way to get out of here. He took reactive armor. He might survive the dagger still coming in, but not going to be enough to save. JYC...
You might be able to get a turnaround on JYC, though.
This could be first blood. Or second blood, sorry. First blood. I just witnessed it. Yeah, look, roaming support PA. Doing work, dude.
Disruption on cooldown for another 3 seconds.
There you go.
Kill.
And honestly, for roaming PA, oh god,
Mosin.
Is this happening? Burrow Strike coming in, but
strike.
That doesn't help. You're still right
in 1 second.
Dagger gonna go for it. AU's gonna get the kill. No, Disruption's gonna come through. Who's gonna heat Disrupt? Okay, he's gonna disrupt
AU's
AU.
dead. No blink strike. No hope.
Just
At
walk
least
it
he
off.
forced Axe to get Battle Hunger at level 2.
Deny?
Oh, deny?
Easy. Okay. So as I was saying, support PA, best meta. He's got boots now.
I'm already convinced.
Oh, there you go. So, I know how you say Axe was forced to get Battle Hunger. If you ask different, like, jungler Axe, some would tell you that Battle Hunger is actually better at level 2. Because you could get off some stacks with it. You could do double stack. You body stack it, and then you Battle Hunger a different camp. But obviously, having the Berserker Call allows you to take the stack much quicker, so...
Yeah, seeing as how he stacked the hard camp once and then ended up taking a ton of damage from it while PA was dying to it, I think he probably preferred to take one of these stacked camps earlier on, but it's no big deal. He'll get it at 3 unless this PA continues hassling.
Yeah, if he gets into level 3. Okay, well, MTR is not jungling right now, so let's actually talk about the other lane. Raven having absolute free farm. Probably gonna see the standard stuff here, the phase armlet, Echo Saber. Any reason that you think he's gonna go for a different build, or that's probably the build that we're gonna see?
I think an early Blightstone would be okay, especially if he's going to be just free to hassle the tower as much as he wants, because if they can create pressure early on, because Fnatic doesn't really have the best pushing lineup, so if they're able to get a tower for free and create pressure for like this Axe to TP in, that's going to slow down a Blink Dagger timing big time.
Well, Axe is actually going right back into the lane here to get that sweet level 3 under his tower. So we'll see how he's going to cope in the lane. I don't think there's actually that much killing power, especially with the Warlock support, but maybe if PA gonna roam in. Speaking of PA, on the bottom lane here, alright, Dagger gonna get onto the illusions.
Yeah, this Luna is doing pretty good right now. Not as much free farm as Lifestealer, but she obviously has a Slargar in her lane, and I think AU can spend time here. There are no other lanes that really require his attention. He can't really do much to jug mid because Blade Fury is basically the biggest anti-PA support spell you can ask for, but if he's able to force this tri-lane of Power Gaming to constantly be policing this Luna, then it's going to be worth his time. And now JYC might find Ohio. Might want to go on this.
They can't kill AU. AU could Blink Strike out. He's going to take a lot of damage, Blink Strike out, and I mean, that's the power. Oh, I say that though. The beam from downtown. Lance is going to get the kill. So if he had made the escape, I would say that that's the power of support PA. You know, generally you could get into a little bit of trouble, but you get out of there.
Yeah, even with just the... Oh, okay, so Sand King did end up getting boots, and so he has boots Windlace, 360 move speed. That definitely made the difference in that kill attempt, and he's going to head on top now.
Okay. So, if you have to rate Mosen's roaming from 1 to 10, 10 being good, where are we at?
You mean like historically or just this game right now?
Just this game right now.
This game right now, I think there's definitely quite a bit to be desired, but he got the kill on support PA, and he's got, you know, good farm to really turn on the roaming. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on him, but I'm still more curious about this PA roaming around, and I'm also curious about Ohio looking at this Axe stack.
Going for a crush. I think he got like 1 or 2 creeps there, but unfortunately can't do too much off of that. Meanwhile, support PA trying to roam from behind, but there is vision. In fact, who dropped the ward first?
Yeah, both teams put the ward like almost immediately after each other. The Dire ward is a little bit fresher, so Radiant does know, but I don't think Mosen's going to do anything, especially if he's getting gone in on like this on this Lifestealer. Dagger comes in, Mosen goes for the Burrow Strike, but he's going to die.
Look at that kill secure by AU. You kind of have to do that as a PA support, because you do need that kind of early roaming goal to make sure that your life is... Well, you're making everyone else's life is difficult, so...
And it looks like Raven did end up going for that Blightstone, but PA's here anyway. She's going to draw aggro off, and she definitely knows that Radiant has a ward now because these creeps have not shaken aggro yet. But they're going to get this tower very early on, and I don't think Radiant's going to do anything to contest it.
You know, I was pretty sure he's going to draw it all the way to the camp, to the right side. But
yeah, that's what I thought too, but...
They're going to get the tower, like you said. Double Blightstone does not stack. Meanwhile, Quarry on the bottom lane. Okay. Oh, ooh. Yeah. Alright, that micro was absolutely atrocious, but it did not die, so.
The tower does die, and Mosen not able to do very much. Actually did get Sandstorm at level 3, level 4 like we did see. I've been seeing a lot of Sand Kings just skip Sandstorm if they're feeling very confident and just keep alternating points between Caustic and Burrow Strike. This game, I think, just for the purpose of disjoining Dagger, it's worth getting an early point in Sandstorm.
Yeah, I agree. I think the people that just get the alternating points, like you said, is just missing out on that extra survivability that you gain just from that 1 point in investment. Kind of tilts me a little bit when I see Sand Kings without Sandstorm.
Right? That's what I think too, but I see it in a fair number of professional games, and I'm like, am I missing something here? Or is Sandstorm not like an amazing, you know, juking spell?
I guess, like you said, it depends on the game. This game, there's projectiles being thrown at you, so maybe a little bit better here. So, support roaming PA, despite having a lot of action early, still only level 2. 7 minutes in the game, so we might see her grabbing that tome once it hits 10. I think support PA, one of the weaknesses is that it's kind of, you know, high risk, high reward, right? You get a 4th core if you do everything well, but if you don't, well, he doesn't contribute anything.
Yeah, but it's very much like a Naga support to an extent, except Naga has a little bit easier time transitioning at the trade-off of less early game power as a support, but...
I mean, Naga has a game-changing ult, right?
True, and that can't be said for support PA quite as much. But when you've got Lifestealer bombs like this...
The initiating PA, 7 minutes in, you do not expect it. They see PA coming in, it's level 3, it's fine. But do you want to Blink Strike into an Eclipse? I do not expect a high lifespan here. Meanwhile, looks like Mushi's getting gone on the mid lane, but I want to watch this Eclipse. Will there be an Eclipse? Looks like not, as Lance will go down. Meanwhile, simultaneously, Mushi has gone down the mid lane to a 4-man gank, so... Alright, well, cores are dying. Net worth is pretty similar.
Oh, PA all alone here in the mid lane. I'm surprised she's going to defend this. Mozum gonna go in for the Burrow Strike. Nice. Oh, nice juke. But he's still dead for sure.
Oh, almost. He will go down. The dunk it. Gonna give him the movement speed out. And Power Gaming now working on the tier 1 tower of their own.
There's going to be a TP from Timbersaw, and he is pretty good against this Axe's aggression, but... Oh, Omni Slash is down also, so I guess Mushi feels a little bit safe. Yeah, PA should have probably thought twice about that. You said it was a 4-man gank. Omni Slash was committed, so I guess she feels a little bit safer, but still, with 4 heroes as a level 4 PA, you're not going to be able to get much.
Yeah, I guess he was relying on Blink Strike. Did he actually have Blur skill then? Maybe relying on that Blur vision a little bit as well, but...
Yeah.
Fortunately did not help.
So it was a really, I like the debut of the Nyx Bomb on PA. I actually did not process that in the draft, but that's a great synergy. And you only get to show it once, and they've revealed the whole combination. So now if they don't see Lifestealer on the map, Power Gaming is going to be a little bit more cautious, and seems like they're going for round 2 here in the dire Radiant jungle right now.
Yeah, they all walk past the Radiant Ward right here, so... Should be fairly aware of this movement, especially with Demon leaving the safe farm on the top lane. Now they're going to smoke. I believe that was under Radiant Vision. Yeah, they get immediately ping out. The question is, what can you do against this? Scan goes at the tier 1 tower, so Fnatic knows that there are some heroes nearby.
Oh, he's going to walk into it. Wraparound has been revealed.
Okay, and it looks like the Radiant is going to just dodge by going all the way up top.
They'll leave Slardar to farm alone by himself. I don't know if Luna feels safe going back to the bot lane to farm, but right now it seems like they're just all grouped up near their Ancients on the Radiant team.
And the problem with this is that normally when you make a rotation like this, you scare the enemy team away, you get to like push for a tier 1 tower. But like you said, this Fnatic lineup is actually pretty bad at pushing. So I'm not sure how much they're going to get out of this.
At least they got level 6 on Slardar. It was a bit of wasted time for this Lifestealer not farming, but I guess they're going to be able to get this tower because Power Gaming is not interested in contesting it.
Would you say that the Fnatic lineup is actually pretty one-dimensional? It feels like they have to win this game through fights. They can't really go for a late game. They can't really push. I guess they could go for Roche.
Unlike most other fighting comps, this one scales a little bit more effectively into the late game because of PA. Like most of the time, what you see with this level of pressure is something like a Nyx Assassin in the place of a PA, where he's serving as the vehicle for Nyx, and after a few minutes, after maybe like 30 minutes, Nyx Assassin just really isn't that good because you spend so much of your time roaming, Lifestealer's getting most of the kills. But with a support PA, I think it's okay, even if they're not able to get all the fights that they want early on, and especially if they're going to be able to take this Roche at 11 minutes like this.
Yeah. Well, game is paused for 3rd time here. AU's tanking up, got that invasion, 20%. And got the
Definitely
killing.
the best tanking target, right? 20%?
How much armor does he
Nothing to
have?
scoff at.
5 armor, okay.
5. So Lifestealer doesn't have more armor, but if he gets bashed, think of all the lost DPS.
I like how we're just sitting here mapping it out as nobody actually cares.
It's not often that I get to crunch the numbers on this whole thing. I mean, because you're gonna be all like, oh, you know, Roche has also got that crush. Maybe he can be weaving in and out. He's losing raindrop charges on this Slardar. You see that? He only has 1 raindrop
He
left.
should be actually dropping the raindrop.
Oh, no, he dropped the boots. He should drop the raindrop. I've actually thought about that many times, and it makes a difference. I love raindrops.
You know, like whenever I'm down to a last raindrop charge, I see a laser or I see a rocket coming from Tinker. I'd be dropping that raindrop quick.
Assuming you're not gonna die, right?
Yeah, obviously. But
Okay.
people kind of forget, and especially when I'm playing Shadow Demon, I see a guy with raindrop. I'm like, dude, you eating shadow poisons?
Oh yeah. So how'd you feel about the nerf in 6.88 then?
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You freaking Shadow Demon stammers like you deserved it because you were burning off way too many of my raindrops, way too easy.
You know,
It was disgusting.
I was spamming Shadow Demon, and then thanks to Dota 2 statistic built into the game, I was like, let me check how many, what's my win rate on the Shadow Demon. I checked, I have a 30% win rate, and since then I've never touched the hero again. So,
Sometimes it's okay to have fun in this game.
I have fun when I win.
Oh, okay.
That's why I don't play Shadow Demon anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You rely too much on your cores, and they suck.
That's literally every single player in this game thinks that.
No?
No, you're alone. You're the lone.
What's that?
damaged support who's just like.
What's that?
What is
Kugan-Duger effect?
Dunning-Kruger? Yes.
Yeah, close enough.
At least you're aware of it.
I am aware
I
of
read
it.
the thread.
Yeah, I
I
am.
read the thread.
I'm not part of it,
Yeah, go
but
ahead.
I'm aware of it.
There was a Dota 2 dev days or Steam dev days or whatever where apparently a Dota 2 psychologist is what the Reddit thread called them. Somehow I'm skeptical that Valve has hired a psychologist to be on staff. The Economist thing made sense to me because they're making money hand over fist on this game. But the psychology thing I'm not too sure about, but they said that, a lot of players, they aren't even aware of the Dunning-Kruger phenomenon, syndrome, whatever it is. So even if you are knowing that, like, maybe I do think I'm better than everyone, but I'm sure everyone else thinks that. At least that's half the battle.
I believe they hire psychologists because, like, isn't consuming psychology is like a big part of economics?
That's true.
I remember
Okay.
studying a course of that, but they're doing more like I don't know. All right, let's not talk about that anymore. As we got Power Gaming takes the tier 1 to the Roshan of Dire, kind of a classic trade that you see a lot of times here in Dota 2. And they might lose a tier 1 tower mid as well, though. But like we mentioned,
Yeah.
Fnatic, not exactly the best pusher.
This Dire ward is really powerful right now. You saw that Power Gaming wasn't really willing to contest their bot tier 1, which is a dangerous tower to contest. And right now, they haven't seen... Okay, no, they do see Slaughter. I was going to say, if they don't know if he's gotten his Blink Dagger yet off of that Roche, then they may not be likely to defend it, but seems that just 3 Mushi, Raven, and AU might be able to defend this. TP coming in from Sand King.
Axe just Blink up Blink, so this could be big. Blink Strike coming on the mid lane. Mozen's going to be the focus, but he is going to be okay as Blink Dagger Axe comes through. The Rock, though, is going to be big. Fatal Bond falling through. The Eclipse doing much more damage on the side of Radiant. They lose 3, including the Aegis. Ohio coming in, wishing that he had a Blink right now. He's going to move forward, covering the retreat of Raven, but that will put him in a very bot spot. Ohio, oh my god, that crit. 200 damage thanks to that. So Catcher Ohio will go down, and DZ moving forward for a little bit more. No mana left whatsoever. Axe misses his call. But now we're going to chase a little bit further. Raven comes back in, now goes on JYC, who does not have disruption. He does have 10 wand charges, and he will go down as a result. Surprised to see that Power Gaming chasing forward so deeply, especially after missing the taunt. But they will go back. I'm going to count that as a victory here for Power Gaming. Even with the rock being used, to me, they won the team fight. They defended the tier 1 tower. They got the Aegis out of the Lifestealer. And keep in mind, the Fnatic have to win these fights, because a lot of the strategy revolves around, well, being aggressive and winning fights.
Yeah, that was a massive win for Power Gaming. All the Rock really did was give Axe more opportunities to counter Helix, and he has it maxed now, along with his max Berserker's Call, so he was taking no damage whatsoever in that fight. I think that was the Blink Dagger reveal for Axe, and so you can be sure that Fnatic are not going to be grouping up like that anymore if they can avoid it. They do have a lot of melee cores, like we said early on, but this Axe was a total linchpin in that fight, and Warlock just wasn't able to do very much with this golem. It died like almost instantly.
Yep, and Warlock will do even less as his ultimate's on cooldown. That is the one big weakness of this Warlock, and I think that's why we do see Fatal Bomb being taken over. I'm not sure exactly how much upheaval would have done in that fight. It's probably very little because there's an axe in this game giving everybody movement speed with the dunk. Not sure.
It's true, but if you can kite a Luna around, that makes a big difference. She's heavily reliant on the fact that she's able to kite heroes like Lifestealer around, but she's not going for anything like a Pike. And so if the initiation comes in with the Blink Nake's Bomb from the Phantom Assassin or the Crush from the Slardar, who's still 500 gold away from his Blink Dagger, she's going to be very, very vulnerable.
Yep. I imagine once the Blink Dagger comes online for the Ohio, that's going to be the first opportunity, or first gank we're going to see is towards the Luna. But, you know, the thing is now that you need to make sure the Shadow Demon is not nearby, and you need to make sure that the Axe is not nearby. Power Gaming has a ton of counter initiation.
Ohio. He's in a very awkward position right now. Mosin has 4 points in his Burrow Strike, but it's not going to get revealed.
I like this, using the Axe as a bait. But Ohio not going to fall for it. You know, Fnatic smokes in, drops double wards here at the Ancient spot, but unfortunately for them, the Ancients have already been cleaned up at least once.
Yeah, neither team willing to commit. I'm surprised that Fnatic is so skeptical about pushing this tower. They have this good ward, and they know that at least Axe is bot. I mean, they know that at least the Slardar is watching bot, but I guess Radiant team has been escaping vision right now.
Yeah.
This Juggernaut weaving his way deep into the base. He has a TP. He might need to come mid to defend this.
I'm surprised that Power Gaming is allowing this trade to happen, because I feel like they're stronger right now, and yeah, we're going to see the Glyph and the TP coming in. DDZ is going to be in the front line here. He is going to be super tanky because of the spin. Second ports are coming in. It's going to get cancelled promptly. Blink Dagger, okay, Mushi gets caught, but Mushi's really not the target that you want to go on. The cat gets summoned. And I think that's going to be it in terms of the fight. So the trades is that Power Gaming gets a tier 1. They get to actually deny this tier 1 if they want. Pretty good trade if you ask me.
Yeah, Luna was free-farming the whole time. She was thinking about TPing. Really good idea to cancel it because she would have died almost instantly. I don't think she would have had the time to get Eclipse off, even though Fnatic, really their only hard stun is the Crush. And in the gank attempt that we saw earlier, whenever they revealed the Nake's Bomb, it was the Crush that ended up canceling her cast of Eclipse. But still, even if she just gets stunned once, she gets blown up instantly because she's so squishy.
Yeah, there is disruption, but I think, you know, when the Chakram's on top of you, even when you leave the disruption, you're still in a lot of trouble. Alright. M tier, the next item that I hope he's working towards too is the Blade Mail. A lot of these damage output, in particular for Mishi, is quite high, so having that item is going to be helping out against him, as well as the Lifestealer. Or do you think you want to see something else?
No, I think Blade Mail is the right call, especially with all the minus armor that Fnatic has. The pre-reduction Blade Mail will be really painful against this Lifestealer. Alright,
I'm not sure if you're paying attention to this Ancient camp, but they are annoying the bejesus out of Power
There's a massive war going on here. I love it whenever I see both wards being dropped, like a decoy ward and then a real ward to block Ancients. It's so underutilized, but it works every time.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, they de-warded the decoy ward, as you mentioned, but the next minute, they sent an illusion in, just a body block at. So the Radiant team thinks, oh, it was just an illusion blocking it. And then the minute after that, they're like, what the hell is going on? And then they will find out there's a real ward, but it's, done its job by then. Ohio does have the blink initiation. Lance is exposed. Are they going to jump for him? It's a bait, but can they burst him down? That's a question. Looks like they will be able to. Meanwhile, on the back line, a counter initiation. You're in the wrong neighborhood. Burrow Strike onto 2. And Epicenter being channeled. Ohio in a lot of trouble as well. He's trying to run away. And the damage output is going to be non-existent. Blink Dagger cooling down. We're going to see jumping forward. Ohio gets caught. Raven's going to be able to rage TP himself out of there. They trade 1 for 3. Lance takes it for the team, but the rest of Power Gaming, especially DZZ, making bank.
Yeah, they made big bank, especially because they ended up taking the gem from Slaughter after that fight as well. I know, I'm surprised. His Blink Dagger was off cooldown. I think he was thinking that he could go back in on the fight after Lifestealer he hadn't quite committed to the Rage TP, so Slaughter was like, well, if they go on Lifestealer, maybe I can go back and turn this fight around, but that was a bad idea. They had just picked up the gem, and he was going in, and he got open wounds on Mosin. He goes down on the Sand King, but that's just consolation prize, really.
I'm not sure if using the Warlock Golem to secure that kill is worth it. I mean, you got my 4 position support. If I'm Power Gaming, as soon as Sand King goes back alive, we smoke gank, we have Eclipse. Let's go.
Yeah, typically I'm only okay using the Golem like that if you're able to transition it to a push. All the tier 1 towers are down for Radiant. This Golem's gonna expire before they get anywhere.
Yeah. Lines are being drawn here by Power Gaming, looking to be aggressive, take advantage of that cooldown. Well, that said though, DBZ's ultimate is not back online, so maybe that's something that Fnatic is counting on to make sure that there's no aggression in the near future. But JYC's already dropping a Sentry Ward. It looks like they are looking to smoke. Here we go.
They have relatively good vision right now. This one ward that Radiant has might catch some movement coming in from Ohio on the Slardar, but he's going to need to be very careful. He's actually going up on the high ground on DDZ with an Invis rune, and he's got Omni Slash in 5 seconds.
Okay, DDZ's going to swing around the tower, giving us surprise backstab damage. They see PA. Ooh, Sentry gets dropped.
Oh, Sentry Ward.
That game says. Are they going to jump him? It's going to be a tough kill. I don't know if it's a good idea, especially with disruption in the picture of things. Well, Jimmy's ultimate is slowly cooling down, but Power Gaming would now break the surprise and continue to push. With the loot in the front line, this tower is going to be going down fast.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to defend it. Like you said, had they had the rock, they might have decided to go in, but immediately, as soon as they saw Power Gaming Sand King die, I think the reason that they committed the rock is because Dire Team got their gem back. I think it was on the Sand King, and now Slaughter has his gem back.
Oh no, then I think that's completely worth it, right? Even though you lost the tier 2 tower, the gem makes it okay. And Mosin now pings down the decoy ward. Dude, this ward blocked the camp for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Man, and it's a gambit to commit the Observer also. They didn't go for the Sentry, they went for the Observer, but it paid off. I don't think that this Lance is... He's been sitting on his Helm of the Dominator. He's had his Alpha Wolf quietly, patiently waiting next to the camp, but they have not been able to get any stacks. And with as much map control as Radiant has right now, that stack would make a big difference in Luna's income.
Alright, so since we're on the topic of saying things that tilt me, you know, in Dota 2, carries that just leave their creeps just at the camp until the support dewards the camp, that tilts me. Because you could just stack another camp. Like, you don't have to stack the Ancient camp. Especially when you know it's dewarded, or blocks, excuse me.
What I need to learn is I need to learn the patrol pattern to just auto-stack for me.
Oh,
Once I can do that, then I'm okay. I'm okay with you kind of not having your creep doing useful stuff. But in this circumstance, that was not the case. Lance, gonna go in, gonna take finally a camp that's unblocked for the first time in like the past 7 minutes.
Meanwhile, looks like the Warlock Ult has cooled down here from Fnatic. And let's see what they're going to do with it.
Going in for a smoke. They don't really have very good vision, and their scan is down right now, so this is a very ballsy smoke.
Is this their last smoke is the question. Yes, it is. And this is a very important one. Roshan will be spawning. In fact, it has already respawned. So if Power Gaming wins this fight, I think they have enough to take the Roshan afterwards. If they don't, then they won't have a counterplay making opportunity, especially against this Fnatic team that can sneak Roshan very quickly. You know what's the biggest ball move right now for Fnatic? Go into the Roshan pit and take it. But
they could. They're gonna go for a kill attempt though. They have just vision of the creeps. They don't have any idea where Radiant is right now. They're pinging out the general vicinity, but they don't see anyone farming mid, and they don't want to go up these stairs. They use the scan, so they spot out the Radiant is camping there, but what good is knowing if you have no vision?
Okay, the illusion. They don't fall for that, as it does not break smoke. Ohio's going to pop the sprint. He's moving forward. Ooh, smoke is over now. He's gonna get found here by Sand Kings. MTR looking for the jump, but looks like Blink Dagger got cancelled. He's gonna be the first one going down, so no counter initiation. The Eclipse, though, however, doing a ton of damage on the backline. The Omni Slash right onto Raven. That's the target they really want to kill, and they got him. On the right side, Mushi trying to survive. Looks like he will be able to, but I'm gonna call that a Radiant victory as they got 2 cores. Buyback coming out from Ohio. They do not want to give away this Roshan. And in come they go. Okay, 2-man Burrow Strike lands in a lot of trouble, and they're going to focus on JYC on the backline. AU going to close the gap. Lance, meanwhile, trying to man-fight out of here. He does not have his ultimate anymore, but the beams are still pretty good. On the backline, MTR has bought back. He's going on Mushi, but Slaughter has cut down JYC. This is really a crazy fight. It looks like Mushi's still doing a ton of damage, but I think he's going to get caught here. There you go, Blink Call, and I think he will be dead. The damage is too much. Dunk giving them a little bit more vision. Looks like they do not know where Ohio is. Crazy fight.
That was a very important fight. 2 buybacks, one from the Slardar and one from the Axe. Both of them were very valuable. I'm surprised that both of them were able to get to the fight as quickly as they did, because it almost felt like they weren't like missing for very long at all. Axe went down. Finally, it seemed that the Warlock Golem combined with all the other damage was too much, but all Axe needed to do was initiate, and he was able to do that successfully. Juggernaut came in, Omni Slash very cleanly just onto the Lifestealer, killed him off immediately, and now both teams are kind of at a net even, because the only ult that's missing is Demon's Warlock Golem on Dire team, and the one that's missing on Radiant is Luna's Eclipse, so they're both kind of in a similar spot, but I guess Fnatic with their Dire map advantage are feeling confident going in for this Roche.
Alright, I believe it's scouted here as the Radiant Heroes are grouping up and pinging out, and they're taking it fast, so Power Gaming needs to have a very quick response. Ooh, I like the earn here on Ohio, making sure that the Blink Dagger is not available. Mushi blocking the path a little bit. DD's gonna walk straight in, spins it up, and he's looking for the steal. He's gonna be able to get it. He gets the Aegis! He snatches the Aegis, and now MTR rejoins the fight. One dunk looking for Raven. The second dunk not necessary. Mega kill on DDZ, and even if he dies, he won't, because he Omni Slash Mushi. Get out of here. On the right side, looks like Ohio has finished down the Sand King, but on the left, Demon really in trouble. He will go down, giving another kill to MTR. Alright, that could have been the game-defining fight, and somebody dropped the bottle. Thank you very much. I'll take that as well. Alright, we're gonna be passing a Blink. Passing DP.
Easy Omni slashed himself onto the high ground to kill Timbersaw, and so he was kind of stuck up there. Thankfully, it was at the end of the fight, because all he needed to do was do that extremely confident Blade Fury into the pit to snatch that Aegis. It was actually a very good Shadow Poison by JYC that got vision of Roche in the pit, showed exactly how much HP he had left, and they were able to time it perfectly for DDZ to enter in. And MTR's initiation on this Axe has been so good. He's been doing so much damage with these blade mills and counter helixes that Fnatic, they're forced to clump up because of just the nature of their heroes. But MTR is just taking advantage of it so heavily.
Can I ask you an armchair dodo question?
Alright, I'm listening.
Alright, your Roshan is at 10% health. You see a Juggernaut spins in. Wouldn't it be the smarter choice to just like right-click the Juggernaut? You have a lot of Mindstorm on your team. Or is it more like, look, crazy stuff is happening. There's a Juggernaut coming in. Let's just kill Roche ASAP and grab the Aegis.
I think if it was, it all depended on this Axe, because really either decision that Fnatic made, Axe would have changed it. Because if they go onto the Juggernaut, then Axe will just jump in immediately.
Right.
If they don't go on the then they go for Roche, Axe will wait and just sit on his call, blink.
Well, whatever the case might be, Power Gaming, don't deny it. They are very far ahead, and you know, I saw a lot of viewers at home, they were saying, who's going to take this best of 2? A lot of people thought Fnatic's going to sweep the series. I got to remind you guys, Power Gaming, they dropped down from the winners bracket finals. So they're the team that progressed a little bit further, and they're showing you why that you should not sleep on this team, 3-2-2 or not. So they're looking quite strong. I'm not sure if they're going to take the game 1 off the back of this decisive lead, though, but they are in a big lead.
They are. It's a bit of a challenge for them to push high ground, though, because now AU is starting to get reasonable farm. He has his Vlad's completed. He's had this medallion for quite a while. His next item will make a big difference. I'm curious to see what it'll be. Like, what is the first major core item for a support PA?
I'm not sure. I think he's actually going to upgrade it into a Solar Crest.
Solar Crest? Okay.
Because it's quite good against Juggernaut, right?
Assuming that you can get it off after the Blade Fury.
Well, and I mean, actually defensively, because Raven's just getting wrecked by these
that's
Omni
true.
Slashes. So you
That's
give him the
definitely
armor,
true.
you give him the evasion. But I just don't think he has time, because, I mean, Power Gaming doesn't have the best push, but they still have Shadow Demon Luna, right? Like, you could siege very, you know, effectively. And then you got the Healing Ward, so...
Right. Yeah, no, I think their push is actually reasonably strong because Fnatic, all they have for anti-push is Chakram and I guess Upheaval, but that's really it. None of their other heroes can commit, and Power Gaming recognize that they're going for high ground. They have this Aegis on Jug for quite a while still.
Yep. Okay, I heard the Infest. Now we're gonna see who are they gonna jump. JYC is probably gonna be the target, but they have so much save. The Axe is there. The Sand King is there. And the Poison, like you've been mentioning, cancels the Blink Dagger again, drops the Urn. Meanwhile, Omni Slash on the backline. Demon gets chopped here. DDZ will get the kill and will just get out. And now Shadow Demon Illusions of Lance starting to do more work. Illusion of the Luna walking and zoning everybody out. They just get the racks clean. On the backline here, though, looks like we do have the initiation, but Ohio perhaps a little bit too deep. He is going to be going down. Raven, no rage. He is going to be going down to the Luna as well. And with that, I think they continue their push. Oh no, Power Gaming looking strong and looking like they're gonna take game one. Call, and looks like we're gonna see Mushi walking back to the well, to his death as 4 heroes surrounds him, and Mushi will not survive this one.
Such good positioning from Power Gaming. Like you said, they had all the pieces for disengage ready to go, and no one, like Slardar, there was no right answer for who he could initiate on. GG is called.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say MVP one player, but I gotta say Shadow Demon won them 2 big fights in a row with his Urn, with his Poison. It was... I wish I had it on Radiant Vision just to show like how much vision he gave to his team, but I didn't. But man, he played it well.
Very well played, and I'm thinking that Fnatic probably they gathered the data on whether PA support would be able to work this late into the bracket. I think that they may have just learned their lesson.
Well, I mean, I think with PA support, it's like an ogre, right? You have the early game role, but you have the possibility of transitioning. Unfortunately, I don't think they were able to transition. Had a couple fight go their way, maybe we're gonna be singing a different tune, right? PA might have been critting people pretty hard, so.
True.
Yeah. Game 2 is going to be coming your way, guys. Hope guys you enjoy the game. Of course, he is Tsunami. You can follow him at Tsunami643. Are those the right digits?
Yes, they are.
All right. We'll be back for game 2 in just a bit. See you guys.